What's up, guys? Magicalibra back today with another deck profile. This time we have the Playground Style Hero deck profile. I'm actually going to be creating a format, more like a Time Wizard format, where this deck can be played legally, and it is slow but also fast without being 5 minutes for one turn type fast. So, that's just a side step for in the future, but let's go ahead and get on into the deck profile. So we'll be selling this deck also for $55. So the links will be down in the description for all of my sales profile links that you can find at any of those sales profiles links. You can click on, and the deck will be in my shops that I sell. Again, it'll be $55. But let's go ahead and go over the deck. So you're going to be receiving the main deck along with the sleeves, along with the extra deck and the sleeves that go with the extra deck. As you can tell, purple for fusion. You're going to be receiving these extra bonus cards. You're going to be receiving this purple deck box with a purple deck divider inside. And everything will be inside the deck box and shipped to you safe and sound. Alright, let's go ahead and give you a little sneak peek at these extra cards here. So let's go ahead and get all of this out of the way. So for the extra cards, I'm only going to be showing you the first 3 cards. So you're going to be receiving a Secret Rare Elemental Bubble Man, which, spoilers, there are 2 Secret Rare Elemental Bubble Mans in the main deck, so that way you can have 3. You also get a nice Super Rare Bubble Blaster. Side note, there are a bunch of extra monsters in here for the deck. Same with this, a bunch of extra spells and traps in here for the deck. So a nice Super Rare Bubble Blaster to go with your Bubble Mans. And these are the more highly rare cards. Now, not all of the cards in here are extra deck monsters though, so keep that in mind. You get a nice first edition Secret Rare Masked Hero Acid in a nice sleeved up case and everything. And this will be put in probably a bubble mailer in the deck box in the bubble mailer as well. So that way it's all nice and safe and sound. And we will be shipping through either postal, USPS, or UPS. Not FedEx though, so unfortunately we can't do that. There is no FedEx drop-off location. But you get to receive this nice Secret Rare Hero Asset. Alright, let's go ahead and get these out of the way here and go into the main deck profile. So for the main deck profile, we have 3 Elemental Hero Sparkmans, OG art. 2 of them are first edition, 1 of them is not. So this is the strongest main deck boss monster in our deck because it's just a high attack beat stick. So you can just summon this attack over your opponent's monsters. But it's also one of our main materials for our fusion materials, for our fusion monsters in our extra deck. Of course, in this type of deck, it is our fusion deck. So there's that. Moving on to the rest of the normals in the deck. We have 2 Elemental Hero Avions. One of them is first edition, one of them is not. Then we have 2 Elemental Hero Bersertrix. This one is the OG art, first edition. This one is a rare alt art limited edition. I think this is from the McDonald's pack, I'm not sure. But correct me on that if I'm wrong. Then we have 2 Elemental Hero Claymans, both first edition, so really nice. Also a great defense wall because it's got 2k defense. That's going to be it for the normals, guys. So let's go ahead and move on into the effects. So we're going to have, as I stated earlier, 2 Secret Rare Elemental Hero Bubble Mans. So this is actually used as fusion material, but it's also used for its effect, which is if it's the only card that you control on your field and in your hand, you can special summon it from your hand and then draw 2 cards, which is also really nice. But it also serves as not just special summon attack with it, even though it's 800. It can also be used as fusion material for some of our stronger fusion monsters. We play 1 Elemental Hero Wildheart. It's okay. It's also another beat stick with 1500 attack, but It's mainly used for fusion material, but if you want to normal summon this guy, you can. He is unaffected by trap cards, so that could come up going against one of your opponents in the future. Next up, for our non-Elemental Hero cards, we play 3 King of the Swamp. These 2 are super rare, first editions, and this one is a rare, unlimited version. So, really nice. What this card does is it acts as a substitute for any of your fusion monsters that require a named fusion monster. So that will be nice to do, especially if you pair that card with Wild Heart. You can summon one of our really cool boss monsters in the extra deck. You can also cheat out a couple of other really cool monsters using that special effect of this monster. Now, he also has another effect where you discard him to the grave and you get to search for a polymerization to your hand, which is also really nice to help go into fusion plays. Next up, we have 3 Command Knight. So what this card does is it is a 1200 beater, but it's a 1900 defense wall. But you'll normal summon this card, and it says all warrior monsters you control gain 400 attack, so it immediately goes to 1600. And it says if you control another monster, monsters your opponent controls cannot target this card for attack. So if you play 2 Command Knights, you immediately have a lock. They can't target that card, they can't target that card, so they can't attack at all. So it's pretty cool. So we play 3 of this to help boost our warriors' attacks, because if you didn't notice, all the Elemental Heroes and all of our monsters in the main deck are warrior monsters. Now, I was playing this card at 3, but I bumped it down to 2 to help support more of the main deck and how fluid it is, because we play a lot of 3-ofs. So we have 2 Marauding Captain. What this card does is your opponent cannot select another face-up warrior type monster you control as an attack target. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand. So all of your main deck monsters are level 4 or below, and all of them are warriors. So it also creates another lock, kind of like Command Knight. So you're playing 3 cards that create a lock, which is nice. Now we're going to move on into the spells. So for the spells, we have 2. Oh wait, my bad. 3 Rhodas, Reinforcement of the Army. So we have a super rare reinforcement, an ultra rare, and a secret rare that you'll be receiving if you purchase this deck profile. Along with all the other cards that you saw in the video, you will be receiving each of those as well, and the ones that you will be seeing later on. But what this card does is you get to add 1 level 4 or lower warrior monster from your deck to your hand. So pretty much all of your monsters are up for grabs with this card to help you go into a fusion play. Now, not only do we have 3 Rhodas, but we also have 3 E-Rhoda. So this is Emergency Call. And this card just simply lets you add 1 Elemental Hero monster from your deck to your hand, allowing you to go into more fusion plays. Now, up for the fusions, though, we play 3 Miracle Fusion. 1 is a rare with the super explained text, but we've got 2 regular, I think these are Speed Duel, or no, these are just regular. So what Miracle Fusion does is you banish fusion materials mentioned on a fusion monster from your field or graveyard, and you banish them to summon that fusion monster, and it is treated as a fusion summon. So that's also really cool. Also, we play 3 Polymerization. So we have a super rare alt art Elemental Hero style polymerization. I just love that it has the OG poly in there as well. Really love that art. Looks sick. So we have 1 super rare and we have 2 ultra rare copies of it. So basically what this card does is fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. So it's polymerization. There's not much explained into that. You get to fusion summon. So yay, fusion. Then we're going to be playing not one, but two Monster Reborn to help revive back your monsters from the grave to go into more fusion plays, or revive back one of your boss monsters that died because your opponent summoned their boss monster. So that can also help. Then we're playing not one, but two Terraforming to search a certain field spell in our extra deck, or in our deck, sorry, that helps support our Elmto heroes. So that also helps. And that field spell is going to be, we have one rare first edition Skyscraper, and just a regular Skyscraper as well. So what Skyscraper does is, if an Elemental Hero monster attacks a monster that has a higher attack points, then the attacking monster gains 1,000 attack during that damage calculation only. And I read that wrong, but you understand that if your Elemental Hero monster attacks a monster that's stronger than it, it gains 1,000 attack. So, pretty cool. And lastly, we play one Lightning Vortex. This card says discard one card and destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. And lastly, we play one Premature Burial to revive back cards from our graveyard. So we basically play three Monster Reborns, kind of. But this one, in order to revive a monster, you pay 800 life points to activate this card and target one monster in your grave and then revive it back. But if it leaves the field, destroy this card, or if this card leaves the field, destroy the monster. And that is going to be it for the main deck. That's going to be 40 cards for the main deck. Now we're going to move on into the extra deck. So I'm going to be explaining the first card, my favorite card. This card is a light attribute. It's very high level with 2,900 attack points. And it requires, for fusion materials, Elemental Hero, Avian, Burstinatrix, Clayman, and Bubbleman. So what this card does is it must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. So after you fusion summon it, if it leaves the field, you can't even use Monster Reborn to revive it back or any other card effects that do the same thing. While face up on the field, this card is also wind, water, fire, and earth attribute. So it's also light, so that means it's every attribute except for divine and dark. When this card is fusion summoned, shuffle all banished cards into the deck or decks. So that tells me if I've used my my other fusion spell here that my brain can't quite comprehend here. If I've already used Miracle Fusion, then it banishes my materials for me, and this card, when summoned, just gets to bring them back. So, very nice. He also gains 300 attack for each monster your opponent controls that shares an attribute with this card. So, with it being every attribute in the game except for Dark and Divine, it's going to gain a lot of attack pretty fast. So, that's really cool. And you play other attributes in your deck to correspond by... You could possibly make a second copy of this card, but it's pretty hard. It's more of a late game type card. That's why we only play one of it. Next up, we play the OG Secret Rare Elemental Hero Flame Wingman Speed Duel. What this card does is it requires Elemental Hero Avian and Burstinatrix to make. It must be fusion summoned, and when this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the grave, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster in the grave. And we play 3 copies of this card. This is the OG. I really love this card. Fan favorite. Best card, best deck. Awesome. Next up, because we play Flame Wingman, we're also going to be playing 3 Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. So what this card does is it requires Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, this guy, plus Elemental Hero Sparkman. It must be fusion summoned and gains 300 attack for each Elemental Hero card in your grave. If this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the grave, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack in the grave. So it does just what Flame Wingman does, but it gets an attack boost, and its base stat is higher with 2,500 attack instead of Flame Wingman's 2,100 attack. So, also pretty cool. Next up, we're going to be playing 3 of my favorite card, which is going to be 3 Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. What this card does is it has 2400 attack, and it requires Elemental Hero Sparkman plus Clayman to make it. It must be fusion summoned. My bad, I bumped the camera. It must be fusion summoned, and once per turn, you can discard one card. Then target one monster on the field with original attack, less than the attack of this card, 2400. And then you can destroy that target. Really cool for just making this card to get rid of a problematic monster. Next up, we play 3 of a really cool card, which is going to be Elemental Hero Wild Edge. So this is actually a really strong card with 2600 attack, and it requires Elemental Hero Wildheart and Elemental Hero Blade Edge, and it must be fusion summoned. It simply has the effect of this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. 2600 attack is pretty strong. Now you're wondering, how do you make this? Because you didn't see Elemental Hero Blade Edge in the main deck. That's what we have the King of the Swamp for. It can substitute for Blade Edge, and we already play with one Wildheart, and we can search it like 6 different ways, so you can easily make this at any given time. And you can make all 3 because we play 3 different Monster Reborns, so technically you could make 4, but more than likely you only make 2, possibly 3 late game. So a really strong card. Right off the bat, you're just able to keep attacking and overwhelming your opponent by just going bam, bam, bam. Lastly, we have one rare first edition Elemental Hero Rampart Blaster. It requires Elemental Hero Clayman and Burstinatrix to make it, with 2000 attack and 2500 defense. And this OG card is where all the Super Heavy Samurai cards spawned from. So what this card does is this monster cannot be special summoned except by fusion summon. While this card is in face-up defense position, this card can attack your opponent's life points directly. In that case, apply half the attack of this card for damage calculation. So, put it in defense, and you can attack your opponent directly with it for 1000 damage. So, pretty cool. Now, the way this card was coded in games online, you could do that, but the field had to be clear in order for you to do that. Otherwise, you couldn't attack with it, period. And it wasn't coded right, but you're able to summon it in defense, and you're able to just attack over your opponent's monsters directly to your opponent's life points and deal them 1000 damage, which is pretty cool. Lastly, we have one Elemental Hero Mariner, first edition common. So what this card does is it requires Elemental Hero Bubble Man plus Elemental Hero Avion. It has 1400 attack and 1000 defense. What this card does is this monster cannot be special summoned except by fusion summon. And if you have any face down cards in your spell and trap card zone, this card can attack your opponent's life points directly. So all you'd have to do is set any cards face down, just one, and it can attack your opponent directly, which is really nice. And that's going to be the 15 card extra deck. So that is going to be it for the main and the extra deck here. If you like the video, if you want to buy the deck, make sure to click the link down in the description below, and it'll take you to any of my 3 online shops to buy the deck with, and that way you too can have fun with a really nice playground style Elemental Hero deck profile. And as always, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what was your favorite part about this video, and don't forget to subscribe. As always, keep it real.